Hey, happy Father's Day to me. These are
it.
my daughters. I have Sophia. And yes, I have Sophia. And Sunny has Scarlett. Show the babies. Show them. Say something. Oh, shit. Okay, well.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
No? Talk to the people. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
What happened?
Oh.
Oh, gross.
No, you're gonna give it water damage. Okay. I love you. This is my first Father's Day, and I am extremely happy to have my daughters on just for a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do a podcast holding these babies for 40 minutes. But
Say something.
Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. I love Sunny too, I guess. I don't know. It's not about her today. It's about me
we
today.
went too far. We went too far.
It's about me today. Okay.
Fuck you.
Hit me with the welcome back. God, are we serious right now? Did you just? I'm gonna keep that part in.
Damn it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Episode 12. Episode 12. Father's Day. Father's Day edition. We didn't have any guests on because we felt it wasn't. Well, we had my daughters on for the intro, but I think
It wasn't like it didn't feel right to have anybody else but our dad on the podcast, and he doesn't really want to do it.
Yeah. What on top of the fact that he's still semi-blind.
Yeah, he's still recovering.
So his first eye he can see out of now, very little. But he's a recovery. He gets surgery next week on the next eye, right? Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. We're excited to have him back. Now, since we're on the topic of dad, happy Father's Day to you, Dad. I don't say it enough.
You're gonna cry?
No.
Look, he's tearing up. He's tearing up.
Fucking cry. I'm gonna try my hardest not to cry. I don't say it enough. I love my dad. I love him a lot.
Yeah, me too.
This past
I say it enough though.
You do. You say it too much. This past month has taught us a lot. Me and Sunny have been talking about it on our job. Even Eric. Our dad does a lot.
Yeah.
Whether it's work, whether it's for us, anything we need, that we've ever needed, our parents have been there for us. And
now, like with me and Louie doing like full on installations, funerals, all day, every day.
Yeah, all the stuff that like
it's hard.
Yeah, my dad.
I mean, I did it before with Dad, but
right, but
it's different now because it was just like easier to do when Dad was there.
It feels easier, right?
Yeah.
It feels like shit. Are we making the right decision? Even though we've been doing it since we were like freaking 10 years old, and we're now adults, it still feels weird. Like
we had the reassurance before, and now like it's like we can't call Dad and be like, "Hey, are we doing this right?"
Yeah, it's scary. I'll give you an example. When we were doing a disinterment on earlier in the month. There was like a thing, I ran into a little bit of a roadblock. A disinterment is when you take a body out of a grave so that they can transport it to another cemetery whenever they want to move their loved one. And so we were doing that, and it was kind of hard. It was different than like one that I had done in a while, and I came up with an idea that I had never done before. And my dad is usually, he's got his vision, and he's telling us, this is what we should do. This is what we should do. And then I now more so come up with the ideas before him. But since he's there, all I had to do is just run the idea by him. Hey, Dad, can we do this? What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that he was like kind of blind. He was there, but he wasn't seen, and he was like in the shade. And so this is kind of a little sad. But I got out of the hole, and I go over to my dad. And I tell him, the baby's screaming in the background. I go over to my dad and I tell him, hey, Dad. And I had to describe the hole to him. This is what's going on. This is what I see down there. And this is what I want to do. And I wasn't even sure about it. And I should have been, because like he's taught me like what he knows. So like, but the reassurance of him being there, that was one of the last jobs he went on. He was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Just do it. And I was like, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. So but it just felt better that he was there, like to explain that to.
Yeah.
And so this past month we've been 100% on our own, and not to say that we can't do it, because we've been doing it.
Yeah.
It's just you kind of
like it's when like, you know, if anything ever were to go wrong, my dad's already been through it all.
Yeah.
So he knows, like, okay, if this happens, do this. If this happens, I mean, though he did what?
Hey, is her thing on? Is her mic on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's working. Are you sure?
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Cut this part out.
Cut this part out.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know.
Hello?
Maybe it's not plugged in, right?
Aww. I don't have color?
There we are.
I don't want yellow.
It's June. You have a lot of color.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, I'll leave it
Okay.
there. Shut up, stupid.
Where were we at?
God damn it. Cut Eric out.
Where were we at? I'm not even going to cut that part out. Fuck it. We
'Cause you
were at a
can't.
vulnerable
You don't know
moment.
how.
It's going to take me a while to figure out how, and I just don't want to do it. It's vulnerable right now what we're telling you, because we kind of keep this on the down low, because, you know, it's working with your dad your whole life is so cool.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
But it's cool because you're comfortable with this person. Like, so it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just more comforting.
Look, and it's funny. I think if dad was in good health, if dad was like right now at least 90%, we'd be probably singing a different tune. Like, man, our dad is a handful. Our dad gives us a hard fucking time.
Yeah.
We'd be complaining.
Yeah.
It's weird. But now that he's like out and he's just kind of relying on us 100% to do, because I do the headstones, Sunny Marie kind of maintains the cemetery, cuts the grass and stuff, and my dad is 100% on funerals. So we all have our little sections of what we do at this business, and now me and Sunny have had to come together to kind of fill in the gaps,
together,
because my dad's not there. So my dad would fill the gaps, and so since he's not in, we've been
now
running
we're like 100%
crazy.
just funerals, installations,
Yeah.
running back and forth everywhere.
Yeah, and we're not complaining.
No,
We're
because
blessed.
we both knew how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I know how to do it better than he does, but but we both know how to do it individually. It's just now we just it's just different. It's just different. Now we're best friends.
And that's crazy, because through this, it's brought us, me and Sunny, closer together.
Yeah.
It was a weird little vulnerable moment, and I'm going to put Sunny on blast because it was funny as fuck. But it was like 110 degrees outside, and we were doing a funeral, and it was hot, and everything that was metal you had to touch was burning your hand. You had to wear gloves, sweating. It's miserable. The families are in a delicate situation, so you have to be, you know, professional, even though you're burning your freaking skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to figure out which moment you're talking about.
we're getting everything together. It's a huge funeral. I can't really give you where it's at, but it's a huge funeral. It's a special type of funeral because it's an oversized casket.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just a little bit more steps. It was a heavier individual. So there's a couple more steps.
There's a little bit more
that
things that
do.
we have to do to make sure that everything goes
Smooth.
smoothly. Yeah.
And so we're doing it. It stresses us the hell out. On top of the fact that we're burning. You know what I mean?
It was so hot.
Mm-hmm.
So like me and Louie were both like, oh my, why is it so hot? Like it burned. Like your
Everything.
skin was burning hot.
Blistering. And so we finished the funeral, and we both get in the van, turn on the car, blast the AC, and then I look at her. We both sigh. We look at each other, and we like said the same thing with our eyes. And then Sunny said it out loud. She's like, I miss dad, bro. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're right. Because first off, I wouldn't be there. So thank God. You know, dad was there.
Like, yeah, I know. Because during the summer, I'd be the ones only doing the funerals.
And I'd be in the
installations
shade
with my dad.
I'd be in the shade carving headstones with the little swamp cooler AC. You know what I mean? I you know, I'm not going to lie. I don't have it as bad as sometimes the stuff that my dad does. It's just.
Though, I want to say the way that it worked out, like, thankfully, he doesn't have to be outside right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even before, like, dad would like almost like pass out.
Yeah, it's
and
tough.
I would have to do the funeral basically by myself.
Yeah.
While my dad's sitting like trying to find shade somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
It's crazy. It's just a coming of age, and again,
yeah.
I want to say that we're blessed. Funerals and all this stuff. This pays the bills.
Oh yeah.
So I don't want to act like as if this is like,
this is not a complaint.
I hate this. This is like a realization of coming of age in a different way for us, because even though we've been doing it on our own for the longest time, we've always had that reassurance that it's like dad is just like a question away there.
Yeah, like, oh dad, like the hole's a little bit too small. What do we do? Like, do we have somebody come get it, or do we just fix it?
Do it ourselves. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just even simple questions like that. Like it's just. Mm-hmm. It was easier to have him there and just be like, oh yeah, just fix it real quick or whatever. Right.
And so now, I mean, we're getting better at it. And it's brought me and Sonny closer together, because it's like we've been having each other's back, which is really cool. I don't say it enough. I think the crazy thing is that I'm going to get a little weird. Last year, me and Sonny, and I don't even have this on the topics.
Honestly,
that I want to talk about.
I didn't look at the topics either.
Hold on. Before I get into this, I'm fucking hungover. Okay. It was my best friend's bachelor party yesterday, and I started drinking yesterday since like 10 a.m.
Now you know how I feel.
And I didn't go home till like 3 a.m. And it, Matthew, shout out to Matthew. He's going to get married in next month, and we just had a blast, but
he's gonna make me miss the fight, though.
I'm fucking going through it right now, and Sunny is too. She goes out every.
I go out every weekend, but I'm not hungover today.
Yeah, no, I am bad. I drank a beer before we started just so that I could like settle my stomach, and it didn't help. I think it actually turned on.
Made it worse.
It was worse. But getting back to what I was gonna say, me and Sunny have gotten closer, but last year, me and Sonny got into it, and I can't even remember why. It was a stupid little freaking argument that set it off, and we didn't talk for months. Like it was just like, hey, what's up? Like, because it was a really, really bad argument, and we were both so stubborn that like neither one of us.
Because I don't even remember what the fight was about.
It wasn't even worth like what we're just so fucking stubborn that like we just like fuck that. I'm not gonna apologize first, or I didn't do anything wrong. And it put my mom and my dad in really uncomfortable situations. Like we went through freaking Thanksgiving like that, Christmas like that. It was bad.
Like we really didn't even like show up to a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Like my mom would like, if my brother was going to one thing, she'd be like, oh, I don't know if Sonny's coming. And then like the other way around. Yeah.
And it was bad. Like my mom, we put her through some shit, and I really feel bad about that. But what I mostly feel bad about is that I shouldn't have done that, and I kind of blame myself. Like I'm the older brother, and I should have just like grown up and just fucking let it go, and I didn't.
I don't see it like that either, though, because really, like I guess it didn't have to get as bad as we made it get, because like we didn't have to not talk.
We did it,
and we didn't have to like not show up to each other's stuff and stuff like that. Like it was just,
we wasted like a whole fucking year just because we wanted to be right, and at the end of the day, I can't even fucking remember what we were mad about each other.
Yeah, I do remember that argument. I just don't remember what we were fighting about.
Yeah, I just remember like one day, like that was it, and I just said fuck you, like whatever. It was, we said some really hurtful things to each other, and I didn't mean any of it. I just said whatever the fuck I wanted to say, like to hurt you, and the same for her to me, and that's bad. And I'm grateful now that I have my sister back. Like it's crazy. We're best friends. Like
sometimes
we started talking slowly but surely, and then we finally got back to it. And whatever.
Do it, Eric. Do it. He has a fat finger. He flipped me off.
Oh,
he flipped me off.
So yeah, I mean, we're getting freaking a little vulnerable here, but I'm just glad that like we started this podcast and it got us closer together, and then our dad like kind of being out of work has got us even closer together.
Yeah.
And now we're fucking like, I text Sunny like as if she's my friend. Like, what are you doing? Where are we going? Let's go eat. Let's go take lunch. We never would go eat lunch together. Yeah. And like we go all like, the time.
Our schedule was always different, and now it's like we make the time to like go together.
Hey, let's go do that.
Yeah.
You know, like the other day I could have gone to the bank and made a deposit by myself,
and we were like, let's go together.
Let's go. And like, yeah, let's go. It's like shit. Mom, sorry, but we did it on company time. But I mean, we got the job done.
We still did it for you. Don't worry.
She filled out the deposit, and then I handed it to the teller, and then it was a team effort. So, but yeah, I'm just glad, and I'm sorry that it got like really weird on here. But Sonny, I love you, man, and like I'm glad.
Oh, he's gonna cry.
I'm glad that you're back full force in my life. That's so cool. Okay, how do I get out of this? Eric,
I love you too, brother.
Yeah.
You're cute.
Okay, that's it. Don't fucking touch me. Touch me, you fucking weirdo. Stay on your side of the table. That's why we have this buffer chair.
Don't touch my pizza. Don't
She
touch my pizza.
She has pizza right here. And I'm like, when are you going to eat that, bro? Like, we're recording.
I'm going to turn around and just face away.
We have one. If we had like multiple cameras, I could have just panned away for you. But we have one camera, so people are going to watch you eat that shit. Don't eat in the mic. Eric, also, you too, man.
It's cold.
You too. I
I
love
forgot
you too.
about Eric. He's just sitting there.
We're here having a special bond, and we're like, oh yeah,
oh Eric, you too. I love you.
You too, bro. Nah, man, I love you, man. You know that.
Cool.
But I think that goes without saying. I don't think I've ever really even gotten an argument with Eric. It's crazy. Like,
me and Eric would be like, well, fuck it.
You guys
be like, fuck you,
bicker.
bitch. And then like an hour later, we're like, you wanna go eat?
yeah, you guys bicker, but it's nothing crazy. And Eric's just like the coolest sibling out of all of my siblings.
We go to eat
Bitch.
like every week.
Yeah, we go out to eat like every week.
Yeah.
We go to Crazy Crab like every week.
Yeah, they go. They have their little bond thing. It's so cool, man. And Eric, I have a special bond, and they have a special bond, and it's cool. Like even when all three of us come together, it's even like a different thing. It's so cool, man. Like if you have siblings, be nice to them. Hang out with them. They're your friends. Like they can be your friends if you want them to be. So I think this is kind of this podcast.
They're gonna be the only ones that know what you're going through in your family.
Right.
Like they're going through it with you.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Then that means a lot to us. That.
You spazzing like Eric.
Cool.
Sorry, Eric.
I got off track. None of this was on the schedule to talk on the topics today, but I'm glad that I said it. I want to go back to Dad. I have a cool story about Father's Day. I mean, relating to Father's Day that I want to share about Dad. That's really cool. My dad is a self-made. Him and my mom pulled themselves up from the bootstraps, whatever the fuck that means. It's an old saying, but that they did it. The rags to not really riches, but rags to success. Having a working business. That is able to pay the bills and stuff like that. They
Even though it's difficult being outside.
Yeah, they did it, and I'm really happy and proud. It's weird to say I'm proud of my parents, but it's so cool because growing up, when I was young, Eric wasn't born yet. It was just me and Sonny. When Eric was born, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Honestly, he really was though.
Because like the struggle was when we were
went through
younger.
it.
Yeah, there was times where like my parents would make payroll. Pay the employees, and then they would say,
to wait.
"Yeah, like hey, you guys can't get your
Monday
check yet or whatever." And so it was just like we had to work on that, and that was really crazy. But there's this story about my dad, and I told it at they had a wedding vow renewal party, and I told this story, and I think it just really like says who Dad is as a dad, and also who our parents are as parents. There was one Friday, and you were still like a toddler, but they were out of money. Like they paid the employees, they paid the rents, the taxes, whatever they had to pay. But they didn't have any money because they paid all the bills. And so I heard them talking in the kitchen about what we were gonna eat today, and I was in my room, and my room is adjacent to the kitchen, so I could overhear what they were saying. But it made me panic because as a kid, you never know when your parents have money or they don't have money. Sometimes they tell you a little bit, but they're not going to tell you, hey, this is how much I have in the bank.
We don't have money, so sorry.
Yeah. And so there was no food in the fridge. And I kind of like, it was Saturday and I was like, hey, what are we doing today? Like just like a kid, I want to do something. And Sonny's a toddler and they're talking about like how they're going to get money for us to eat. And I thought that was so scary. Like it scared me. And then my dad, came into my room. He's like, get ready. We're going to go out. We're going to go sell some T-shirts. And I was like, okay. So he came up with this idea. My dad had a really good friend who recently passed away, but they had a T-shirt company. And that my dad's friend would give him all the extra T-shirts for UTEP, the university here, for football or basketball or whatever, and they would give us the extra shirts just because he was friend. He's like, hey, you know what? I printed 20 more shirts. Give them out if you want them. And so my dad had a box of UTEP football shirts, and there was a UTEP football game that Saturday. And so he came up with the idea, I'm going to just go to all the local bars near UTEP and sell these shirts so that I can make some money.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went out. You were with us. We were, going from bar to bar, selling T-shirts. And my parents, just like that, made, $300. And my dad, it was so crazy because my dad was like selling. He was out there. You want an XL? You want a large? You want this, right? And there was a gentleman that was like, hey, I need an XL. And then my dad had the UTEP shirt on to show people, this is the shirt that I'm selling. And then they're looking, and he's like, oh, I'm all out of XLs. And he's like, oh, man, really? And he's like, you know what? This is the only XL I have, the one I'm wearing. If you don't mind, you can have it, and I'll sell it to you at a discount. And the guy's like, heck yeah. I'm going to go to the game. I want a shirt. Sell it to me. So my dad sold it to him for like half price, whatever. My dad literally took his shirt off and sold it to him. And it's a symbol for me. It's like my dad sold his own shirt off his own back to keep our family going. And that was just like, I remember that. And I was like 9 or 10 years old at the time, but it still sticks with me. And that's just like the coolest story that I can have about my parents, is that they're hustlers. Like they'll do whatever they need to make sure that we have what we need. And
Dad's told me, like, even since like we're young, he's always told me there's always a way you can make money. There's always a way you can make money. There's the times that you're not gonna have any money. You'll find something you can go mow lawns, you can go trim the trees, you can go to local cemeteries, go see what you need. Like you know more than the average person about yard work, about stuff like that. So
it was so cool. I mean, our parents really taught us a lot as far as that's concerned. It's really valuable information. And that right now, as a new father, I'm so glad that I got to live the life that I got to live, because now I'm going to pass over this stuff to my girls and try to raise them how we were raised, to a certain extent, with some changes, some minor changes. But
there's changes.
Everybody's going to change their parenting style like a little bit different than their parents raised them, because they want to see about improving certain things, or just changing certain things, some things that they don't agree with, and maybe, but for the most part, I like the way they raised us, showing us hard work and showing us stuff like that. It's just the coolest thing. And it brings me to like me being a dad for the first time. It's the coolest thing. It's the scariest thing. It's the coolest thing. Like there's this one thing that happened that made me really understand I'm a dad of twins. We were leaving the hospital. We're loading up the babies for the first time into the car seats. It's so cool. They're just tiny little things, 6 pounds each, and it's just like bundles of joy, and I can't stop staring at them.
Now they're little chunky mamas.
But now they're big mamas, And so I'm driving extra careful now, even slower than I normally drive.
And he's already slow.
I drive slow. I drive the speed limit.
No, he drives slow on the right lane on I-10 at 5 o'clock. You know what I'm talking about, bro. You know what I'm talking about, bro. It takes us like 2 hours to get home.
Sometimes, yeah. Look,
I'm
a very safe driver.
No,
I don't like getting tickets. I don't like speeding. I don't like putting myself into like a stupid danger that's just not necessary.
Louie will leave like the office at 5 or whatever, and I leave at 5:30, and I'll make it to him on I-10. I'm like, hi.
That's way too far in time. Maybe if I leave 5 minutes, you'll catch me.
No, I've seen you like get off on Zaragoza, and I'm over here like in the lines, and I'm like, I caught up to him.
On the contrary, you drive way too fucking reckless. Like you scare the hell out of me.
No,
she's blazing 100 degrees. Eric,
fast.
am I lying?
No, you're not.
She drives fast, bro. Like
we make it. Do we not?
Unsafely.
It's unsafely. It's scarily.
No, we make it.
My heart's racing. My blood pressure's through the roof.
Well, why do people drive so slow?
You drive too fast. What was I talking about? Okay, so I'm driving the babies home, and this is when it clicked to me. I take the babies off their car seats, and then I mean, not off the car, but I take them off the car in their car seats, and I'm carrying them inside, and I put them down in the living room, on the living room floor, the car seats, and I'm like, oh shit, where do I place these car seats? So I just put them on the floor. You know what I mean? I'm a new dad, like literally 2 days in, and I'm looking at them, and I sit down and I'm staring at them asleep, and I'm like, oh fuck, these are my responsibility now. Like, this is for real. Like, this is forever. Like, I have to watch them until like they can watch themselves. And even at that, like we were just talking about it, I still need my dad at 30 years old. That's some scary shit, right? So I'm thinking about that as I'm staring at them, just innocently, just sitting there, and Sandy's like in the restroom or something, they're gathering something, and I'm just staring at them like, whoa. And it kind of brings me to another thing. It's crazy that like anybody can have kids. Responsible people, irresponsible people, clean and sober people, drug addicts. It's a scary shit. Like,
that's why I don't want to have kids. I don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, that helps Stephanie. It helps with Eric.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of worry. But it's a lot of payoff. Like the payoff is what's worth it. The fact that like they're yours.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They smile, they hug you, they kiss you, they show you affection. Even at 4 months, 5 months, these little girls know when they're in the arms of their mom. They know that when they're in the arms of their dad.
They don't know they love you yet.
They love me to death. You know what I mean? And it's,
I'm gonna go ask her right now.
They don't speak yet.
Then they don't know they love you.
They love me. But it's crazy though, because I was ready for kids. I thought I was ready for kids, right? But like I was ready as I ever was. Like I got married and I said, okay, let's have kids. Some people like in high school have kids. You know what I mean? Those people can be parents. It's weird. Like there's no checks and balances of like anybody as long as you can have a. Like, as long as you can do the deed.
Nope.
Eric, cover your ears. As long as you can have sex, you can have a child.
Oh, my God.
Wild.
He forgot to cover his ears.
Eric, like, come on, bro.
Come on.
But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, it honestly is crazy because to think, like a 15-year-old, 14-year-old can have this responsibility. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm... Like I still don't want the responsibility of having a kid. Like, imagine if I was that young.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's wild. And we all have friends that go through it.
Yeah.
Like I have a few friends that like had kids in high school or right out of high school, like maybe pregnant their senior year, and you're like, oh shit, like that's tough.
Damn, they had,
And it makes them grow up in a different sense. Like me at 19, 20. Don't leave me in a room with a baby because like I was just doing reckless stuff. You know what I mean? Like I just was not in the right mind to take care of a child. And so to think like they had to grow up, you can do one of the two. You have to grow up and be responsible for this kid, or you leave this kid in the hands of like your their grandparents. You know, you just leave them with mom, and that's a scary thing too. You know, and I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent here. I just think. If I feel like I wasn't even ready, and I was as ready as I was ever gonna be, how do the people do it that like aren't ready?
Yeah.
And how does like the society like? I mean, I know how it works, but I'm saying like, it's just crazy that anybody can have a child. Anybody that is able to have a child can have a child, no matter what point they are in their life. I don't know. It's just wild to me.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's scary. It's scary. Because even though like you're ready, like you're technically ready because you wanted kids, you're married, you moved, you had your own house, like you were in everybody's eyes ready to have a kid, but then once you actually have them, it's like a different like, oh shit.
And then the pressure to have kids, you know, once we had like the marriage and the house and stuff, everybody's just like, when
are you guys having kids? When are you guys having kids?
When?
I'm like, damn, don't rush them. Like let them live their lives.
Ma'am, whenever the fuck I'm ready, I'll have the kid. Are you gonna come over at 3 a.m. and fucking wake this and feed the baby? No, shut up. I'll tell you when I'm gonna have the kid.
Which is crazy too. Like you have to think like when you're quote unquote ready, how it's like harder to like get pregnant. I want to say
yes. Yes.
Because it takes longer. Like
it does.
Like it just seemed like it took a while for you guys.
Yes, it was wild because I was kind of telling Sonny like, hey, we're trying, you know. Hey, we're
you grossed
trying.
me out, you nasty ass bitch.
Hey, we were trying. You know what I mean?
Shut up, Louie.
For lack of a better
Stop.
phrase.
Eric's right here.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Eric, we were trying, dog. Hey,
You're
so
gross.
I'm not even saying anything wrong.
Shut up.
He doesn't know what trying. The stork. We were talking to the stork. They were gonna bring the baby, drop it off at the front. All right, whatever. I know you don't believe that shit. You're 14 in 2024. I know what you're up to on that mobile phone, bro. I'm just kidding. I know you don't do that shit, bro. That's crazy. Don't worry about
Eric, just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up.
it. What was I talking about?
Chicken Little.
Chicken Little?
I was like, what were we talking about?
What? What the fuck was that?
Like, you know how when he says, oh, what are we talking about?
Oh, yeah.
So when
yeah,
somebody says, what were we talking about? I always say Chicken Little.
Chicken. What the fuck? That was weird. I like that.
Anybody else would have understood me.
Back at it. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. That movie came out like 15 years ago, bro.
I'm old.
Yeah, you're old now.
No, it came out before me.
Did it?
I don't know.
Look it up,
Eric. Look it up.
When did Chicken Little come out?
But what were we talking about?
We were talking about the
the process, like the long how took you guys forever. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we were trying and stuff, and I felt like as if when we were younger, like our friends could just have a child.
Yeah.
One try, and it's like, oh, I'm pregnant, and it's like our friends literally had like the one, like, oh my god, like unprotected sex, and they're pregnant. And
yeah.
like, oh shit, and you know, Sandy and I took very good care of ourselves when we weren't married and stuff. Whatever.
Stop.
But when we were ready to have children, I was like, okay, let's do this. And a year went by. And I'm like, nothing. Okay, maybe we should go to the doctor. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know what the hell to do. And so...
Because even Mom said that it took a year for me.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay. And then we started doing other things. I started dieting. That's when I lost weight. And then Sandy had a pregnancy and then lost it. And we were like pretty bummed out because we were excited because it took us about almost a year and a half to make something work. And then it was gone, you know, within like 2 months. We were like devastated. And then we were like, well, at least we know we can. So it was like a kind of like a ray of sunshine, right? And I feel like God blessed us and gave us the one that we lost back.
Yeah, because
twins.
With twins.
Yeah, so it was like, okay.
The first pregnancy wasn't twins; it was just one, right?
It was just one. From what I understand, it was just one.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Which is crazy, though. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
You got your baby back, and then just got another one.
I want my baby back. Baby. I want
Stop.
my baby back. we literally talked about having a miscarriage, and I'm joking around.
I know.
No, we're blessed. Like with these twins, God gave me the first one back, and that's so cool. And if a lot of people don't know that happened with me and Sandy, and I asked Sandy if that was okay for us to talk about before talking about it, and it's a part of us that I don't want to forget, because it helped us like understand. Okay, now you can have children. It was a lesson, and then we got the baby. So cool, 2 babies.
2 babies. You got double.
The
price of one.
The price of one. For the first 2 months.
Not for the price of one. It's very expensive.
Oh no, yeah. Why did I say price of one?
Oh,
no, absolutely not.
I thought about it and I was like, wait, that's not right.
Yeah, you know what? Every once in a while, I'm thinking like I can just do a GoFundMe just to like get through this month.
As long as you're telling the truth, it's not illegal.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. I thought about it. I stayed quiet. I'm like,
Thankfully, we don't need to do that.
Thank God, everything's fine. And whenever times are tough, we can rely on family. And
I'll give him $1.
Really, with twins, it does take a village. It does. Takes a village.
Even with one.
Even with one, but with 2, it's like crazy. Even like asking for a babysitter, I'm like, man.
I offer all the time. He's just being a little bitch about it.
But it's because it's like, I'm not just leaving you with 1. I'm leaving you with 2. Like I'm literally turning your house into a daycare.
I used to take care of like 4 at a time. Eric was a handful, and so was my nephews, and then there was, there was 4. Oh, because
God!
I'm like, wait,
they're gone. They're missing.
no,
They're on the milk cartons right now. That's
like,
so
wait,
crazy.
there was 4, but it was a significant other's child.
Okay, great. Let's just leave it vague. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna just kind of change the subject a little bit because I wanted to touch on this because it's a memory that I didn't know I had. Do you ever have those? Like, I guess they're called like repressed memories.
Oh yeah.
Where you're like you don't know, you don't remember that, and then something triggers it, and you're like, that actually did happen.
Yeah.
Well, I have something that is like that, but I don't know if it really did happen. And I clarified it. Let me kind of give you some backstory on this. I went to confirmation for church.
Oh yeah.
And in confirmation, before you're gonna, I guess, like get confirmed, graduate, if you will, from this Sunday school, you go on a retreat for a whole weekend. They take your phone, they take all your electronics. You're literally in a like a retreat cabin where they like you bunk with like your classmates, and it's just for you to get close to God, if you will, right? Like you're gonna all about church. They don't even give you watch like clocks, and if you ask somebody, hey, what time is it, they're like, you're on God's time.
Oh my God,
it's very annoying. I'm religious, I believe in God, but it was the weirdest.
That's a little much.
It was the weirdest experience, and let me tell you why. And I don't know if this is true, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because this is how I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in that retreat washing a priest's feet.
What?
Yeah. And when I asked my friend, I'm like, hey, bro, because he went with Philbert, my best friend. He was out last night with me. Philbert. We went to Sunday school, and we got tore up last night. But that's neither here nor there. Philbert, I asked him, and I'm like, hey, bro, do you remember washing the priest's feet at that retreat? And he's like, no, I don't. We didn't wash any priest's feet. He says, as a matter of fact, they washed our feet. And I'm like, I remember seeing some old man's feet, and I'm having to pour like holy water on his feet. And maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe he was pouring water on my feet. One way or the other, 10 out of 10, I don't recommend it.
That's weird.
It's weird. It was very weird. I don't know. I didn't get...
Also,
this isn't a scandal.
Yeah,
I didn't get molested or anything, guys. Hold on.
At this day and age, I'm never going to send my child on a retreat anywhere.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's weird because back then we would trust priests a lot more than
you
is now.
You can't do that. No, you can't trust. Like, I'm not saying you can't trust all priests.
You can't
I'm
just
saying
trust
you just can't
anyone.
trust anybody. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you just can't trust anybody anymore like that. Like, even pouring water on your feet. That's weird. You're minors. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very weird.
Like, that's
so
weird.
maybe I remembered it wrong, but somebody would either wash my feet or I washed somebody's feet. But there was feet involved at a church inside of a dark cave type Adobe made church. I didn't like it. And for the, I'm not going to name what church I went to. I'm not going to name anything, but it was so long ago that I don't even remember like what it was called or anything, but it was just like, now thinking about it, like, oh. And I didn't even share that information, and I think I repressed it because I thought it was so freaking weird at the time.
Yeah, I did that too, though. I don't really remember a lot of my childhood.
Yeah, and again, I'm not dissing the Catholic Church. Like the church has taught me a lot of the morals that I still keep to this day. I'm not saying I'm the most religious guy. I'm not, but it's taught me some things that, like the Bible, that I can kind of pass on to my kids, which I value. But that was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Washing of the feet, and I'm sure it has like a biblical thing to it, because I remember like there's a Bible story where Jesus washes somebody's feet. I don't know who it is, but Eric, look up who does Jesus.
Wait, Chicken Little.
Oh,
when was it?
October 30th, 2005.
So I was 4.
Man, I'm telling you, that was what?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago. Wait.
What?
Math is hard.
19.
20 years ago. 19, almost 20 years ago.
Wait,
Whatever.
Nope.
Say it.
I said 9.
9.
Oh my god.
Hey, well, math is not the Zamorano's strong suit for sure.
Obviously not.
But okay, so what was I talking about? Oh, look up. There's a story of Jesus washing somebody's feet. So like, ask Google, whose feet does Jesus wash in the Bible? And I want to know now. I think is it Mary Magdalene? Is it?
I want to just make this little comment. I'm not religious like that. I would like to believe that there's something better than not being, like, there being nothing afterwards.
Yeah.
But I give you praise that you can believe in something that you can't see, because I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, until I get to these golden gates up there, then I'll believe it.
Hey, well,
like, I want to believe there's
I want to break it to you the way religion works. You're not gonna get there if you don't believe now, bro.
I don't have the faith to believe something that I can't see.
It's hard.
It's not that I don't believe that there's something. It's just that I can't believe something if I don't have proof. I haven't seen it and I haven't lived it.
Yeah. On the night before Jesus' death, he washes his 12 disciples' feet, and I guess it's like an act of like washing their sins or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, his 12 disciples, the ones that, including the one that betrayed him, Judas.
How could you?
How could you?
Do people actually? Okay, wait.
Careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
Don't get me canceled here. But like, I know Grandma did. I know Grandpa did. Do you read the Bible?
I read it.
The whole thing?
They're
not even all the same.
No, they're different books. It's a compilation of books.
See, that's even harder to believe.
Yeah, like you got the book of Matthew, you got the book of Exodus, you got the
This is harder to believe, bro.
Because
now
Filipinos,
I'm like, whose story am I supposed to believe?
They're different stories. You know, like like Noah's Ark. I can't think of any other stories. There's a bunch. So
you read them all?
The Book of Revelations, which is like the scary one. That's the future one. Have you read that one?
No, I've never read
the Book of Revelations. I
don't read.
That's when the world is gonna end.
I honestly, fire.
Right.
Fire. It's too hot. I'm burning. I'm gonna die.
So you are religious.
No,
you have read.
No, I think the sun is just getting too hot.
That book scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Is that what it says? That we're gonna die in fire?
They talk about demons coming on Earth and all this stuff. Like it's interesting to read. It's hard to read because they use like the old type of English language, but once you get the hang of reading it, it's not bad to read. I didn't read the whole thing and I don't remember all of it, but yeah, I remember reading. You know, I would go to church a lot. I would go to church a lot as a kid.
We would try.
Yeah, my parents would take us to church, and then
and I would not pay. Like I would fall asleep or not pay attention or something.
They kind of took it easier on you.
No, they did, and especially easier on Eric because I don't think Eric has ever gone.
But I think it's because you were a lot different than I would. I would just do what my parents told me, and you would not. You were very
I don't like being told what to do.
Confrontational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like being told what to do. I have respect for my parents sometimes. But I don't like being told what to do if I really don't want to do something and I have like a very good argument of why I don't want to do something.
Yeah.
I will not do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's who you've been.
Yeah.
Since you were a child, since you were like young, like you would just do whatever, and cry until you got your way. And it was crazy because you would just get your way.
And I don't remember that. I don't remember me being like a little happy child going around the restaurants. I don't remember like me ever causing problems. I don't remember going to the restaurants with mom and dad and mom would be like, I took you to the restaurant. I don't remember.
They took you to the restaurant.
I do not remember anything from my childhood like that. Like I don't remember anything bad. I don't really remember anything like not good per se, but I don't really like have like memories unless you tell me and like, oh, remember this happened? And I'm like, oh yeah.
You vaguely remember stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
except for me drowning and you weren't helping me.
Drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was in Mexico. Eunice just saved you.
She did.
Our neighbor.
Thank you, Eunice.
Eunice watches. So
yeah, she does.
Hopefully she stays to the end because we're towards the end. But Eunice, shout out to Eunice. She has like 47 dogs.
No, she
and like
doesn't.
29 cats. And like
Just
a
all the
frog.
neighborhood cats are just. I'm not frog.
I don't know. She just has a lot of animals in her house. It's crazy, and she keeps her house nice. And I'm like, I don't want to share too much about Eunice's house, but like I always expected it like to like smell like pet.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, she keeps her house clean.
She keeps her house very clean for
Yeah.
having a lot of pets. Good on her. That's hard.
Yeah.
So we're coming to an end here. This was a little bit. I think it was just because I was so hungover that I was just like, let's get real. Let's talk about some weird shit. So I'm glad that we did it again, but we have to come to a close because we're at 45 minutes. So it's also Father's Day, so I kind of want to go out, cook out.
You can hear them.
Can hear my babies. They're needing me. So it's time. I don't know if you can hear them because I think the mics don't pick
they
up
can't
outside.
hear them, but I can.
Yeah. You guys can't hear it.
Well, there was one time I watched the video and I can hear him in the background.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very faintly, but it was there.
You watch it?
Are you watch him?
Yeah.
Like
Eric-
I lived
Eric-
it, but I want to be able to see like.
You know that Eric doesn't rewatch any of this?
I know.
That's crazy, bro.
I know, and I was like, "Did
I'm
you
here
see
for
this?"
it.
And he's like, He's
like,
like, "I'm here for it."
I
so
was
what?
there.
I was there. So I was like, "So was I?" I don't watch them all.
Yeah. No, I'll skim through it just
Yeah.
to kind of see how it goes. Sometimes I'll leave it on and I'll get through the
Oh
whole
yeah.
thing.
No, most of the time I'll watch the whole thing.
It's kind of weird seeing yourself, but I'm kind of used to it now. Like I'm fine about it.
Yeah.
Next week,
Louie's getting a tattoo.
no, I don't know.
He's
what
getting
we're
a
gonna do.
tattoo.
But we should probably have. I think we're gonna have Brittany on, our tattoo
Let's get a
artist. So
tattoo. She'll be sitting right here. And we'll just like.
that's money, bro. I got money. I got crying twins that need
Okay,
diapers.
if
You gonna pay
it's-
for it?
If it's after Friday, I can get. I'll pay for it.
Let's go, baby. I'm getting a tattoo. All right, guys.
You have to match on me though.
Another one? We have like 3 matching tattoos.
Yeah, we
It's
do.
crazy.
Well, you copied me. I got the sun first.
We're best friends. That's what it is.
Now.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out
Yes,
there.
happy Father's Day. I hope you have an amazing Father's Day.
And if you're a single mother with the father not in the picture,
Hey, you're doing the job for both people.
but today's not your day. So,
No. Celebrate Father's Day
yeah.
for yourself.
Let us have this one, okay, guys? All right. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe. And that's it. Appreciate it. Bye.
Not bye.
Not bye. Bye.
Stupid.